Yes, thank you for the proposal. It is more than I expected, as it is a small space, and once designed and materials agreed, it will be over to the contractor. Do you have the ability to complete at 2,500? Yes, we are going to be talking about that today. Welcome back to Space for Edit, where we talk about all the things that they don't teach you in design school, but you need to know in the real world. My name is Cynthia. I am a commercial interior designer, and today I am going to be giving you a lesson in don't you dare to be lowering your prices. That email that I just read was an actual real email from my client that was sent to me after I sent them the fee proposal. What was my reply, and did I agree to £2,500? Well, I guess you're just gonna have to stick around till the end to find that out. Okay, let's dive in because we have a lot of generational trauma to heal today. First, we need to get to the root of this situation, this challenge that we are facing, and control the need to scream and smash everything that is within your vicinity. And let's practice empathy. Let's choose peace over violence, okay? First things first, the client could actually have genuine, real budget constraints that are completely separated from you, who you are as a person, and you as a business. It could be that their budget is truly fixed and has been determined by someone who's higher up. Could be that this amount of money is the only money that they could get to put aside for this project. Or maybe they just genuinely don't know how expensive it is to work with an interior designer. These are all genuine situations and genuine reasons that I have faced with my past clients. So do spend a minute when you receive kind of this kickback to really think about what could the root problem be here. But it could also mean that your client is very much of a tight earth and just wants to test you to see how low you're going to go, which leads me to the next point. Have you done this marketing exercise where you sit down and you kind of hone in and write down all the nuances about your ideal client? You decide everything about them: their name, their gender, their age, obviously their occupation, where they want to go on holidays, how they spend their weekends. You almost know everything about them. I've done this now a few times, and I have to admit that the first time was a little bit weird and a little bit almost like constraining. But every single reiteration that I have had of my ideal client, it's actually turned out to be really, really useful for my business. It doesn't mean that once you write all of this down is that those are going to be the only clients ever that I'm going to be working with. It means that you are going to be looking for all of these nuances in every single new opportunity that comes your way. So if I was to ask you, can your ideal client afford your services? You would say, yeah, of course they can. They're the ideal client. So when you come across a client who wants to bargain with you and get a deal and get a discount, that means that it probably isn't your ideal client. Should you work with them anyway? That's up to you to decide, I'm afraid. From past experience, I can say that if you do have a client who wants to bargain, who wants to get a discount, then it's very likely that there will always be some sort of issues or some red flags or some challenges coming up down the line and throughout the project. So I've learned from those mistakes, and if you need some advice and some help with figuring out your ideal fees and your daily rates, then make sure to check the link below, as I have a course exactly on this topic. Okay, so we've tried to level with them to understand their situation, and I know that most of you will still think, but I kind of feel bad. Like, am I charging too much? Should I really give them a discount? What if they are really struggling and I just want to help them? See, the part of the deal of being a business owner is making sure that there's enough cash flow coming in, going out, and everything is kind of working like clockwork. So here's some tough love for you, because a part of this whole process is you really sticking up for yourself as well, and understanding the needs of you as a person and of you as a business owner. So remember these things, okay? You deserve to be paid fairly for your expertise and time. You must protect your energy. Lower rates mean more work for less pay, which will eventually lead to burnout and resentment. You're not a robot. Your rates, aka the cash that you bring in, ensures that you can sustain a high level in service and quality. It literally feeds you and waters you. Budget constraints are normal in any field. It's not personal. So tell me, what is there to feel bad about? Does your favorite lipstick brand feel bad about putting a crazy price tag on their product just because they are really confident in the product? Does your favorite artist feel bad about promoting their new tour and charging you crazy amounts for the tickets? No, they don't, because they understand that that's how business works. There is service, there is product, and there is price for it. This is not a charity. You shouldn't be feeling bad about wanting and having a successful interior design business. So stop it, okay? No more. Right, so now we understand why it is important to stick to your guns, and we also understand why the client might be feeling the way they are about our prices. But how do we resolve this? How do we get the message across to the other side and make them understand why your fees are what they are? Because you don't want to really burn any bridges just yet if you don't need to, because this is very much of a conversational stage of the whole design process. So the message has to be quite clear and professional. It needs to show some empathy from your side as well, which I know is quite hard to put all in one, but I've got a few scenarios for you that maybe you can use and obviously manipulate and put your own spin on it, your own tone of voice. This could really help you if you are struggling to explain why you are charging what you are charging. Gotta put a disclaimer on this that I would not use this exact words in my replies, in my emails, because I like to be a bit more down to earth, a bit more conversational. This is quite like official, but this is a good starting point. So let's take a look. I really appreciate your interest in working together. My rates are set to reflect the level of expertise, time, and quality I bring to each project. I am confident that the value and results you'll get will far exceed the cost. If there's a way we can adjust the scope to better fit your budget, I'll be happy to explore that. So instead of focusing on the numbers and starting to manipulate the numbers, you are focusing on the value and the outcomes that your client will get from your services. You are setting yourself up as a serious player. You're leveling up with them by making it clear that your costs come from expertise, from quality, and from the results that they will get. I understand budget constraints can be challenging. My pricing is structured to ensure I can dedicate the necessary time and resources to deliver high quality results for my clients. I strive to provide the best possible service, and these rates ensure I can maintain that level of commitment and expertise. This again is one way how to focus on the value and the quality of work rather than the price itself. You're explaining how committed you are during the process and how important it is for you to be that committed to create that quality of work. You're being transparent with them and showing them exactly why your prices are what they are. I understand that my full package might be outside your current budget. I'd be happy to discuss a more focused scope that aligns with your needs and budget. This way we can still work together without compromising on quality. So instead of lowering your prices, you could come up with a new version of the scope that involves less work for you, which means less investment from their side. This approach keeps the rates down and also shows that you are flexible and you are willing to work with them. And this is actually the approach that I took with that client from the beginning of the video. I came up with like a new watered down version of what I could do for them for this project and made sure that everyone involved was happy with that level of specification. So everyone agreed, everything was fine until I actually started working on it and the reality kicked in. Stay till the end to find out how this whole mess got sorted in the end. I normally don't adjust my pricing as it's based on the level of work and expertise involved. However, for this project, I'm willing to make an exception. Please note that this is a one-time offer. and future projects would be at my standard rates. So if for some reason you got a good feeling about this client, there's a lot of potential and future return on this kind of collaboration, and you agree to put a discount or lower your prices or do whatever it takes to get this job, then it is important to really put a disclaimer there and put a comment and get this message across to your client that this is just a one-time thing. This is not going to be the rate for all of your future projects. We used to do this in a company where I worked in the past. It was quite a big company, so if we would get a client, let's say, who had a lot of connections and there was a lot of potential that there could actually be more work coming in once this project is finished, then the company would offer them 20% discount on the design fees. There might be some small print that the 20% will be applied only if they go with us and our contractor. So obviously there's a bit of kickback for us with the margins on the FF&E and the labor. So a company of that size can do it, but when it comes to smaller businesses and one-man bands over here, we can't really do that because we need the cash flow. Every single penny, every single cent, or whatever your currency is, matters. And we rely on that cash flow coming in constantly. So I would only advise you to really do this type of thing if you are confident that there's more beyond this project. These last two scenarios could actually be quite good responses to clients who still don't want to budge and they still want to lower your prices. While I'm unable to lower my prices, I'd love to stay in touch for future opportunities. Should your budget expand, or if you have a project in the future that aligns with my services, I'd be more than happy to explore ways we can collaborate. Thank you for considering my services. Unfortunately, I'm unable to lower my rates as they are carefully set to cover the level of work and dedication I provide. I hope you understand, and please feel free to reach out if circumstances change. Some people just need to hear it straight and simple like that. And to be honest, it's better to dodge that bullet. I have to admit that there are often a lot of red flags around new inquiries, especially if that is a client that you have never worked before and they haven't come from a recommendation. So maybe like other clients know them or your friends and family know them. If they come kind of from out of the blue, maybe they found you on the internet Googling for an interior designer. So yeah, just protect yourself and protect your prices and turn it down in a professional manner. And I always have this kind of an outlook on life and business that what's not meant to be will pass. And by letting that thing go, I am actually opening up space. I'm opening up doors for new, bigger, better opportunities. Okay, at this point you must be thinking, but Cynthia, I want to know, I need to know what happened with this client. Did you work with them? You've probably forgotten about it, but hey ho, I'm going to fill you in anyway. So essentially, the client offered me a half of the price that I originally proposed. So the only way that I would go ahead with this 2,500, so like £2,000 taken out of that budget, then I carefully had put together based on my expertise. The only way how I would work on this would be if I would change the scope of works. So I came forward with a lot more watered down, a lot more simplified version. It was more conceptual, so no detailing, no drawings, no detailed specification. And then I would just send this document over to the contractor and they would deal with it themselves and take all the information from that document. So they would create their own drawings, do their own surveys, and do all the thing themselves. I was desperate for money at that point, and unfortunately, in the heat of all of that chaos, I didn't actually realize that by doing only that, I will first of all create a lot more work unpaid for myself afterwards, because the contractor would still call me and ask me for all the details, because that final product would not have all the information that the contractor needs. I know. I've done projects before and I know how much time, how much effort and information needs to go into the detailed design stage to actually deliver a project. Creating a concept is one thing, but actually taking that, detailing it, going through with a fine-tooth comb so nothing gets missed out, none of the details, none of the ideas that you've nurtured so much and worked so much on, none of that would be lost. You can't really deliver a project if you don't have all of that middle bit. And what I did is I almost just took all of that out, put it up to the contractors to figure out themselves. So what did I end up doing? Because I take so much pride in my work, I could not let this project be a mess. So I ended up doing all the work anyway. I did all the detailed drawings, all the specification, and even more stuff. So yeah, I was kicking myself for letting emotions take over and leading with the need for money and all of that to kind of just get in the way and lower my prices, and I ended up doing all the work anyway. And to top all of that up, a nice little cherry on top was that client did not pay the remainder 50% of my design fees on time because I didn't have a clear agreement on the payment terms, which is a topic for another video, and I've definitely learned my lessons since then and I do better now. But yeah, that was a mess that happened there, and that's why I'm so passionate about charging the right fees and giving you all of these insights so that you don't have to go through that and you can start making changes now. It could be that they are small changes. It could be that you are implementing just one thing. From this video, you might implement all of the things and hopefully you get the money that you deserve. Remember that I have that course for you if you need to figure out your design fees. I literally use that method that I teach in the course to create design fees for this disaster project, and it took me half an hour to put the fees together, half an hour to create the document, and off it went to the client. So it is a really big time saver. Right, here are some videos similar to this topic if you have time to watch more, but if not, then I'll see you in the next video. Bye!